Hi, and welcome to class 2, where you are going to party it up like a rock star. My name is Heidi Cole. I'm the business leader for Shazam. Hopefully, you and I have connected from class 1 already, and I'm super excited to take you on the journey of partying like a rock star and what all that entails and what it can look like for you and your journey. So, vision is a mental picture of what could be, fueled by a passion that it should be. And remember, in class 1, we talked a lot about your needs, wants, and desires and dreams. That also is different thought processes of vision. What's your vision? What do you want to um, what do you want to do? What do you want to have? What do you want to give? What do you want to be? And empowering that by your daily to-dos. So deep down inside each of us, there is a need to create a legacy that reminds people we've made a difference. So I want you to think about, as we talk about partying it up like a rock star, and remembering your needs, wants, needs, desires, and dreams. What legacy do you want to start creating? What do you want to leave behind? Who do you want to impact? How do you want to impact them or it? Remember, what we believe, we achieve. Work it like it's a side hustle. So let's first talk about your brain, because your brain is extremely important in the power of believing you can, believing you can't. So first, your mindset. You decide you're going to do whatever it takes to achieve your goal. Remember, again, that's your needs, wants, desires, dreams, right? And having that written out, I can't stress enough of having it written out and sharing it with your uplines, myself, people who are close to you who are going to cheer you on and be that inspiration. Mastery, you start learning the tools of the business, plugging in to different sorts of trainings and things that are available to you that are going to help sharpen your skills based on what you're wanting and needing at this time. Because learning, the more you learn, the more you earn, right? And it never stops. It's a cycle. And the day we stop wanting to learn or learning is the day we get into trouble. So movement, taking the action. Once you've learned something, it's applying it and using it right away so that you don't lose it. And so that it becomes second nature, so that it empowers you and it creates confidence and it creates consistency. How do you put your mindset and your mastery into action? Well, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to do it and repeat it. So this class, you're going to learn how to set up your work calendar, how to make a master list and keep it updated. We talked about that in class 1, but we definitely want to review that. How do you meet new people outside of your family and friends? Because your family and friends will help you get started. They're certainly not going to grow your business. How to date new gigs, and the 5 kinds of gigs are sometimes called parties that we're going to highlight and touch on for you. So you know what? What's the next step? The first thing is that you want a work schedule, because what gets scheduled gets done. And stop. The question is do you want a hobby or a business? You can make spare time, you can make part-time, full-time, or executive income. That's up to you. It's your choice. And the time you put in will certainly determine the income you earn and for how long. So make sure that you invest wisely. Let's look at the time that everyone has. So there are 168 hours in a week. You subtract out 56 hours for sleep based on an 8-hour per night. And I know a lot of people don't get 8 hours. So you subtract 50 hours. So that, well, first let's backpedal. That gives you 112 hours left in a week. You subtract out 50 hours if you work full-time, 40 hours of work and roughly 10 hours of commute. And then that gives you 62 hours left in your work week. So 62 hours available minus 20 hours for your Tupperware business. That still leaves you 42 hours. 42 hours to devote to family, friends, you time, volunteer time, other things that are priorities in your life. So do you think it's really a lack of time or lack of how we schedule our time? So if we talk about looking at your date book, let's help schedule your time. And so what I encourage is something called color coding. And that is simply where you open up your date book and you have 3 different highlighters. Okay. One is, I'm a firm believer, God first, family second, career third. So my color is pink for that. Okay. So all your family days. Then blue, those are your days that you are going to maybe you have meetings with your job, or maybe you have a Tupperware meeting, or your directors are having an event, right? And so you schedule in those meetings. And then the green highlighter, those are the days that you're going to go make money with your Tupperware business. And so you set this side a time where you can pencil it all out, mark it all out, but then it is sticking to it. So for instance, you got all of your family days in there. We do this business for our families. So that's why that goes in first. And then the meetings trump parties. And why do I say that? Because that's where you're going to learn. That's where you get the recognition. That's where you get the kudos. That's where you make the connections. And I want you to think about, if you didn't check into your job on a daily basis, would you still have one? Would you be motivated? Well, same thing with this side gig is, even though it's your own, you still get motivated by connecting. And so it's hard to stay motivated if you're not connected. Okay. And then again, the third one is your parties, the days that you're going to go make money with your business. And so let's say you have a party that you have scheduled in and it reschedules or cancels. It's not a night off to go watch TV or to sit and say, woe is me, but it is a time that you had scheduled that you're going to work it anyway. And use that time to do dating phone calls or recruiting phone calls. Or if you are a leader in the business, it's time to connect with your team. Maybe you haven't had a chance to do that. And so utilize that time that you had scheduled that you were going to be gone anyway and work the business. Okay. So those are just some helpful tips that are going to help you take control of your time and your business. And so setting up your calendar, this one I put in here talks about, your 3-week calendar. I honestly say go through the next 6 weeks and put in all of the events that you know. All of your kids' activities or your spouse's significant others, your activities, and then put in the Tupperware trainings, right? And are you going to be able to make them all? No, but you do want to check in throughout the week on a consistent basis. And then where are you going to party? Okay. And remember, you have 42 hours worth of time left over at the end of the month or at the end of a week, that you have time for you and the other activities. So again, it's not you wish you had more time, but how you spend it. So that also brings us back to the power hour. So again, we talked about this in class 1, but truly scheduling in a power hour on a daily basis, whether you are able to do it all at once or whether you're able to break it out throughout the day, is extremely important. Making those connections, making those phone calls, taking the time to do the messages is so important to work on dating phone calls, customer service, planning your hostesses for their events coming up, and touching base with your team. Mission Ask 100, again, is just a reiterator to really mark down the people that you're connecting with. Did they say no, not now, right? And is that no, not now, or no, not ever? When someone says no, I say, you know what, thanks so much for being honest. Can I just simply ask you, does that mean no, not now, or no, not ever? Because that helps me with the business. And about 90% of the time, it's just no, not now. Reach back out to me in a month or 2. And so say, okay, perfect. So I'll mark down to call you this time frame. Does that work? Yes, absolutely. So then I put it into my digital calendar and I put it in that, hey, she said to follow back up. The time I reached out to her wasn't good, but now is a good time. So then when I follow back up with her, it's not awkward. So I might say, hey, Susie, it's Heidi Coleman with Tupperware. We had chatted a couple of months ago and it wasn't a good time. And you said that I could go ahead and reach back out to you. So that's what I'm doing. And they're like, oh, yeah. So because they gave you permission. And so it's extremely important to keep your foot in the door and do the contacts, follow through, follow up, and keep on reaching out. And again, how do you make a master list? Start with your lead list. Your lead list is who to contact, host an in-home party with, or an event, an online party with, a fundraiser, a Facebook party. It could be a custom kitchen. It could be a meal prep class. It could be a bingo night, right? Who do you know that needs a job or is looking for extra money or is looking to, maybe they want to earn a car or maybe they need a car. Maybe they want to travel, right? Phoning is honestly the best because they hear the excitement in your voice. Your voice carries the tone and it sets the pace and excitement of the phone call. And start asking them if they would like to join you in learning about a business by becoming a part of your part of the business, a part of the team. And asking them also, if they say no to that, say, hey, you know what, would you be interested in doing a get together with your girlfriends? If they say no to ask that, if they say no to ask to that, ask them if you can share with them the specials that are going on. So what we call that is the mountaintop theory. Start at the top, work on down. But here's a list that you'll get in the homework section about relatives and friends, just a list of different people that you can go to. Think outside of your comfort zone. Think outside of that small networking group of your close family and friends, but think about coworkers, school friends, church and social contacts, contacts through your children, right? Maybe it's friends you haven't seen in a really long time. So there is never lack of people, but it's taking the time to think outside of the box. And have you started working on that contact 100 list? Because again, put a check mark next to the people who will say yes and help you. F next to those groups that would like to raise money. X if you think they're going to say no. And then money if you think that they would like to make some extra money. And so it's time to start contacting. Word choices. You guys, be inquisitive, ask questions. Hey, I thought of you, Susie, and would love to, get together. We haven't seen each other in a really long time. Plus, I'm expanding my business in your area, and you were one of the first women that I thought of. Would you be interested in hearing more on how you could start your own side gig? Guys, and remember, practice makes perfect, whether it's dating or recruiting or customer service calls, it doesn't matter. None of us came out of the gates with perfect word choices. I mean, my goodness, I stumble on my words rather frequently, and it's okay because they won't become perfect ever. Just when you think you got it, guess what? You change it up. And that keeps you growing. Start with the no's again. Okay, because the people you think are going to say no might say yes, and people you think are going to say yes are going to say no. And remember, no doesn't mean no to you. They're saying no to what you're offering and to the time frame. What does blanket contact versus personal contact mean? First, personal contact is always the best. Phone call is ideal. Next would be texting, then DMs or PMs, right? And reaching out to an individual just like if I went to your door and knocked on your door, okay? That's a personal contact. Blanket contact is you put a message out to your VIP group to however many people you have in there. Hey, looking for people if you'd want to do your own girls' night. That's a blanket message, a blanket contact. And those are great for commercials. But if you want results, go to the personal contact. If you want to work on dating parties or having someone join you in the business, work on personal contact. If you're trying to plant seeds and hit a bunch of people and then follow up with personal contact, your blanket message or your blanket contact is best, okay? All it takes is one good party, power of one. So how many people have you talked to today? How many people have you talked to since you started this business about having their own get together or about joining the business? Maybe it's not even about joining you in the business, but about starting their own side gig. Celebrate every small step. So if you talk to 5 people, but you didn't get any yeses, you talked to 5 people. That's a celebration. Maybe you talked to 5 people and you got, hey, call me back tomorrow. Or maybe you talked to 10 people and you got a yes. Guess what? Celebrate the mini wins. Gig planning. Okay, what does this mean? It is simply connecting with your hostesses. You want to connect with your hostesses and help them have their best night out with their girlfriends and make the experience amazing, because you want to do business with people for a lifetime, not a one-time. So here's some ideas, okay, to connect. Customer service phone calls. Follow up with people that have bought from you. How is their product working? Do they need a recipe idea? Do they have any questions? Do they know how they're going to, how to wash their product? Do they know if it's microwave safe? Are they using it? Okay. Do some thank you calls to vendor event leads. So if you're doing vendor events or fairs, make sure that you're following up with your customers if you're doing a door prize drawing. Okay. Because otherwise you're wasting their time and yours and your money. Ask 20 people a question about Tupperware. Maybe it was, what's their favorite product? What's the one thing that is known about Tupperware? When was the last time they attended a Tupperware party? Have they been to a Tupperware bingo? So ask people questions, get them to engage with you. Another thing that you could do is hold an open house. Have they seen your home? Maybe you do a happy hour and you invite people in for a happy hour and you make an appetizer and have a cocktail. What about doing an instant party? Pulling an instant party in 24 to 48 hours. People know what they're doing in 24 to 48 hours. Not always do people know what they're doing in 2 and 3 weeks. So pull in a quick instant. And so everybody who comes to that event in the next 24 to 48 hours gets an instant gift. And it could be an orange peeler or whistle straw or something along that line. What about doing a practice party? Practice party is just simply reaching out to family and friends and saying, hey, I'm looking at getting my Tupperware business up and running, and I need some practice parties. Some people who will allow me to practice with them and their friends. Play with the products. And guess what? The more you do, the better your results. Putting it into action. So word choices are powerful, but don't get hung up on word choices. So fun, food, and free is great. It's super simple. We're removing the word party out of our vocabulary. Getting together for a girls' night is another great one. You're looking for 3 people to say yes to your free Tupperware offer. Okay. There are different resources that you can look at, and I will put this link in the homework, but it is Melanie Parker is a great one. So you can find her on Facebook and just look for how to book parties without being pushy. Also, make sure that any resource that you're learning from, to go use the information right away. So gigs are the answer. This is the way. Side hustles, gigs. If you're going to do it, let's do it right for you. So there's 5 different kinds of gigs. There's a home gig, or known as the home party, catalog gig, online gig, Tupperware Connect gig, and a social media gig. So let's dig into them a little bit more. The home gig, work smarter, not harder. This is where you have an audience. You physically get together. You show how the product works. So they get to play with the product, touch it, see it in action before they actually buy it. That's what I think is so cool. You will find new hostesses at the in-homes. You are demonstrating to 10, 15, 20 people at a time versus one-on-one. And this is where you're also going to find women and men who are looking for another side hustle. And you get to share the opportunity with them. Okay. Customers and hosts can meet you and get to make those connections with you. Relationships are formed, right, where the connections take place. It can happen anywhere with any number of people. You can take this on the road. You could go to other states and write it off as a tax deduction if you're doing a home gig. And it also builds your confidence. And not to mention, your income is usually going to be higher from a home gig. Catalog gig. This is where the consultant gives a host packet, a packet with information, catalogs, order forms that your hostess is now going to utilize and go collect orders and the payments and stuff. Good for padding your sales, good for that extra fluff, if you will. Adding the gravy. Good to use with past hosts and customers during bigger months or a week where maybe it's soft. Not good to build your business, especially if you're new, because you don't meet the people. Typically, dating a party off of a catalog party is more challenging. It doesn't happen as often. And joining the business, again, is more challenging. A home party, even with a few guests, will give a lot more results, about 90% of the time, than a catalog gig. Consider a half and half party. Half and half party is where your hostess collects orders and then you do a mini party at her home or office to collect the orders. And so then you get half in-home gig and then half not. And then combine this with a Facebook party for maximum results. Other ways that you can do this is party in a bowl, where you fill a bowl full of catalogs and flyers and order forms, put some mini products in there, and then this is simply saying you would take it to like a dentist's office or a hairstyling place or a local coffee shop, nail salon, and you simply talk to the owner or the manager and just ask them that, hey, you know what, could I leave this here and help get the word out that Tupperware is still around? Any orders collected, I will give you credit for, and anybody who places an order can take a gadget or goodie out of my bowl. And so then you can also give them a money bag, okay, the manager, the owner, whoever's watching this, and that's where they can put the money and the orders in. Okay, so these are great, again, as kind of gravies, if you will. Party in a bag is literally where, again, it's in a bag versus a bowl. So 10 tips to maximize catalog show or catalog gig. Set a closing date, okay, just like you do a party. Coach your hostesses to share the catalogs amongst friends, not to just drop it off. Offer to mail catalogs to people, or now that we've got digital, right, send them the link. Find out who you can send the links to, and then follow through. Make sure that they got it. Make sure it opens okay. Do they have any questions about any of the products? Maybe you send them to a certain area to check out, whether it's based on things that they're looking for or your specialty of product things. So offer that. Be sure your hostess knows how to complete the order forms and properly add up the orders. Don't assume your hostess is going to know what to say. So giving her or him some just different word choices and talking to their friends to make sure that, again, they get the best attendance at their shows. Consider leaving a hostess a small sampling of a product. So maybe it's a fridge smart or the lunch line or a modular maze. But then she can go ahead and show this to her friends. Maybe it's a mini chopper. That's a great one. And so again, you want to offer the product sample and then you get that back at her show. Mini demo your products to the hostess before she begins to collect orders to build her enthusiasm and help her know what to say. Set goals with your hostess. Does she know what she's working for, what items? So have her create this wish list because then that wish list she will work harder for based versus just, you know, oh, whatever. But have her start writing out the things she wants to earn herself or give as gifts. Recruit your hostesses. Anyone who is successful at doing a catalog show definitely has the ability to be great at this business because she's really doing your job, isn't she? I mean, she is the one collecting the orders, showing the catalog, collecting the orders, delivering the product, answering questions. And so you want to make sure that you're definitely talking to your hostess all the time, anytime. And then simply ask, how did she do it? What did she do? And compliment her, recognize her. Online gigs, you have to have a paid website, plus or above, to have your online store. Hosts can set up with no assistance from you, which is fabulous. The system sets ending dates 14 days after it's open, no flexibility. And after 14 days, the system sends hosts an e-certificate for 10% of her sales. There's no half price, there's no thank you, it's just 10%. There is a minimum of $200 sales requirement. There's no other gifts offered. They go to your own website as a customer and click on date a party at the top page. Okay. And so again, the plus, you want to have that or higher. Here's if they go to your website, date a party in the upper left-hand corner. Tupper Connect. This party feature is here to enhance the home gig, to add to it, not replace it. Okay, this option is kind of like a marriage of the home party and online orders. So a host can invite out-of-towners, out-of-staters, those who can't attend, they can still shop, take advantage of double sales brochures. PWPs are typically not available online, and attendance offers are also not available online typically. Okay, but Tupper Connects definitely want to do for every single party, because it will add on an average of about $75 in orders, all the way up to $250, $350, $450. We've had as high of and higher with that by being Tupper connected. Most important thing to know is with Tupper Connects, you have to have $200 in actual paper orders that you submit, not that your online orders did. Okay, and if you can't do this, then have your host set up an online party and coach her to the minimum $200 requirement, because the Tupper Connect is meant to enhance a home party, not to replace it. And so if you don't have that $200 part or $200 in orders to actually physically submit, the Tupper Connect orders won't actually connect to her party. Okay, so very important to know. This is something great to post in the Facebook events that you create for every hostess, because it just lets them know that they can still order and still be a part of, even if they can't be there physically. New consultants emails. This is something pretty exciting I'm excited about, is check your promotions and spam filter if you're not receiving these, because guess what? You'll see party time. So the third email talks about setting up your grand opening or your thank you party, and has videos how to date a party, how to reach out, and the paid website along with information on the Tupper Connect. So again, you'll get some more information on this if you haven't already, talking about the party time. Okay, what about a Facebook gig? Yay or nay? Well, it's a fun alternative, and your host must be involved. That is one of the things that they definitely need to be engaged and excited about. Usually a Tupper Connect, but you must prepare your host. And remember, you need $200 in paper orders, not $175. Sorry, that was my typo. $200 in paper orders. And you can be strictly online, but the benefits are much less. Okay. Again, doesn't replace a home party. There's no audience. So make sure, we've got a couple of different trainings available in our Google Drive for Facebook parties, if that's something you're interested in, or also talk to your upline directors or myself. Okay, training resources for Facebook gig. Definitely look at, there's YouTube, ScentShare, Team Connections, $1 Million Party Girl, the tag team, your uplines. Okay, trial and error. I mean, it's learning it, and it's diving in and going for it. Personal income opportunities. Let's talk about, when you party like a rock star, what does your income possibilities and potential look like? Well, guess what? If you have a job, your job is typically 8 hours a day. Some are 10 or 12, right? But we're going to go off of 8 hours a day. You are making approximately $10.50 an hour is what we find the average pay is. If you're doing weekly, that's $420 of income and about $1,680 for the month. Okay. And just one thing I want to draw attention to is all gigs referenced above are based on a standard party or gig of $600 in personal sales volume in a 4-week month. Okay, so just so you know that. So if you're doing Tupperware, one party, or let's do 3 weeks, 3 parties a week, a training, that's roughly 9 to 15 hours a week. Your weekly income is going to be about $625. You're going to be making on an average of $41 to $69 an hour. Your monthly income is right around $2,500. If you're doing 2 parties a week, $41 to $69 an hour, roughly $413 for the week, and about $1,650 for the month. And then if you're doing 1 party a week, you're averaging about $35 to $58 an hour, approximately $175 a week in income, and roughly $700 a month. So, and you're working about 3 to 5 hours a week with 1 party a week, about 6 to 10 if you're doing 2, and about 9 to 15 if you're doing 3. And how much time can we give you back? And how much more money can we help you make? Fundraisers. Again, this is an amazing opportunity. 40% profit goes to the group or individual. You get sales credit and commission on the remainder 60%. So if it's a $1,000 fundraiser, you get sales credit for $600 of it, and that's what you get your 25% commission on. And then the group would get profit of $400. Okay, again, it's great fluff sales, gravy, and it's a great community outreach. And make sure that at every event that you do, that you're talking that you do fundraisers. And so top 10 reasons to have a Tupperware fundraiser, there's a variety of different reasons, you guys. You know, our products are guaranteed for life, free shipping and handling. Well, it's a $20 shipping fee. It's up to you if you eat that cost or if you pass it on. Some people will say that when a fundraiser reaches $1,000, they'll cover the cost of it. But I'm not here to tell you how to pay, you know, how you spend your money or not. That's not my job, nor would I ever want someone to do that to myself. So you decide how that gets taken care of. The group receives 40%. There's no wet towels to pick up from a car wash, no cookie dough to eat, no wrapping paper to throw away. I mean, it's just an amazing, amazing opportunity to get out there and into the communities. So what is gig planning? Gig planning is host planning. Yeah, are partnering with your hostesses to help them have the best party that they can have with their girlfriends and help them earn the most amount of product that they can. And that means that getting people there is huge, and having people there that you haven't met before, as well as collecting outside orders or driving the Tupper Connect. So again, that she's inviting or he's inviting people in different cities or states, making sure that they have seen the link, maybe making sure that they've looked at stuff, and doing just those courtesy follow-ups. That is gig planning. Having them make out their own wish list is huge. So another tip for planning and filling your date book is date parties in close. So anywhere from people have done 24, 48 hours, and sometimes those are the best get-togethers, as well as some people have actually scheduled, you know, 1 week out, 2 weeks. Ideal 1 to 2 weeks is ideal. 3 weeks is okay. You get out beyond that, it gets a little hairy. Not that parties will cancel all the time by any means. However, they're excited now, right? She knows why she said yes. They're still excited about earning all of their gifts. Have them make a wish list. And you know what's going on. You don't have to wonder what the next offer is, right? And a party is just shopping with friends. It's a get together, right? So you're having a get together. And so really, how much notice do they need? And then hosts receive their product faster, and you receive your paycheck quicker. So date in close. And party's not a party until it's in the date book, okay? So she said, let's party. So what are the steps that you do? So first, set a date and time right then and there. Don't let them leave, but it's just simply, okay, you know what? Let's go ahead and pencil it in. And I give them my erasable pen and they write their name, their phone number, and time of the party in my date book because now they're more committed than if I write it. Choose a closing date also. So I party plan them and I talk to them about, okay, so we'll plan on closing the party the night of your show. And so you'll want to make sure that you have all of your orders and payments collected that evening. We'll check in along the duration of time and make sure you have no questions. Okay. Help the hostess have the best party ever. So making sure that she has, at least 10 people in attendance, 10 adults. I always strive for 12 to 15 minimum, but working with her on who she can invite, who she can get there. Double date. So does she know someone who wants to party too? And can they do it the same night? And so that's a lot of fun. And then put them in a competition together about who's going to have the most in attendance, who's going to have the most outside orders, who is going to have the most Tupper Connect orders, and be prepared with materials that you need. So making sure that right then and there, the date, you have a party planning packet in their hand. You've got your date book with you, with your dates scheduled when you can work, and getting that party in immediately. Super important. You will prevent headaches and people canceling or chasing someone trying to get a date into the date book. So I want to share with you a formula that works every single time. The number of orders, okay, you want to figure out the number of orders. This is like how to have $1,000 party, okay? Number of orders times the amount of orders equals party total. So example, typical outside orders around 35 bucks. So if you have 10 outside orders, it's right around $350. 10 party orders, average party order is about $65. So there's $650. Right there's a $350 party. You make roughly $250 profit that night for about 2 to 3 hours worth of work. The hostess gets about $220 in free product, plus half price items, plus any host bonuses going on, and a thank you gift. So the formula works. The question is will you work the formula? So now it's up to you. Let's make it happen based on what you want. Make it your plan. Make your list. Have fun making the connections. Need help? Ask. We're all here to help you. So more for your success. You're going to get a homework Google form that you'll fill out. But here's just some different ideas. Take a selfie with your kit and post it in our Shazam group. Okay. Let's also take that same selfie, post it on your page and let people know you're open for business. You're ready and you're excited about your fun box. Collect 5 orders in the next 5 days. When is your activation event or your thank you party? And find someone to join your team by Friday. But again, you will get homework sheet in the units with this video that you'll fill out. And remember, when you turn in all 6 classes, and you'll get a special gift from me, exclusive, that you can't get any other way. So decide, commit, and succeed. And I am excited for y'all to come back to class 3.